Okay, Shabab, today we are going to start with the conversation number 4 on page 10. Now, what do you think, the conversation will be about? These are the objectives. Here we are going to use the real talk phrases. As usual, we have in each conversation real talk, new expressions, phrases. Then we are going to match the new vocabulary with its meaning. After that, we have to use the new phrases in a conversation. Finally, we are going to answer the questions about the conversation. These things we are going to do in our class today. Now, if you look at the picture, what do you think here? Where are they? What does this picture represent?
They are going to college.
Good, college. So
Yes.
this picture represents a university, a college. After finishing school, most of you will go to college or university. Now, as you know, it is common for students to go away from home for college or university studies. Many students live on campus or dorms in the universities. Others go to live off campus, not inside the university. They go and take their own apartments. They pay money for that. Is it clear? So here we have two kinds of students. Some of them go and live inside the university, which they live on campus in dorms. Dorms, building for students. Others go to live outside the university, and they have to afford, they have to pay money for renting, apartments. Okay. Who can read the question? Who can read the question?
Can
Uday?
you read?
Teacher, can I read?
Yeah, Uday.
Where do college or university students normally live in Saudi Arabia?
Good. Here we ask you about, the students in Saudi Arabia, university students. Where do they normally live in Saudi Arabia? Sure, some of the students who study here. Where do they live?
In college.
They
Or
live in college
outside
or
the college.
outside the college or with their families.
With their families.
Is it true? So here in Saudi Arabia, most university students live with their families. Good. But the ones who come from other cities, they live in campus or they live in an apartment. Okay. Now, how about students who come from another city? Where do they live? Where do they live? How about students who come from another city? Who can try to answer the question? Sharif?
On campus or
Good. On
they rent
campus
out
or on their,
apartment.
yes, on their own apartments. Good. They rent, apartments. Good. In an own apartment or on campus, on, dorms. Dorms, again, buildings which are specialized for students. Dorms, dormitories, in campus and dormitories. Good. Now, if you want to live in your own apartment, what do you think? Do they cost megabucks a month or little money? Megabucks means a lot of money. Living
I
in
think
an own apartment costs megabucks or little money?
a megabucks, teacher. I think.
Yes. So if you
Because
want
you
to
are
live
lot of money.
an apartment outside the university, you have to pay a lot of money. This is, a phrase which is informal phrase for, a lot of money. Megabucks means paying a lot of money. Good. Can everyone, let us say, afford the rent?
No, teacher.
No. Here, student, not students. Can everyone afford the rent? No. Not only can, not everyone can pay for the rent. Not everyone can afford for the rent. Now, in campus and, dorms or, dormitories, what is it like living there? How do you feel? Do you feel free?
No, teacher.
No,
Because
will
there's
not
another body with me.
easy to live because it will be what? Too many students, too much noise, and if you want to try to study, it will be difficult for you to take your to have your or to enjoy to fun, etc. Is it quiet?
No.
Also, also it is not.
No.
Yeah, sometimes it is quiet, maybe not like your own apartment. Is it spacious? Ah, أيضا it is not spacious. It is not two big rooms, for example. Now, which Saudi universities had dormitory buildings for students? Which Saudi universities has, dormitory buildings for students? Maybe King Faisal University in Dammam, King Fahad, for petroleum and minerals university, King Saud University. These universities has dorms buildings for their students. Okay, now what are we going to do? Here we are going to listen to a student talking about where he is going to live when he finishes school, when he starts college or university. And then here we are going to listen a student, plans in the future about his, staying when he starts college. Okay, listen, just to share the audio. 1 minute, please. Okay, listen.
Where are you going to live when you start college in the fall?
I don't want to live on campus. There's too much noise when you're trying to study, and there aren't enough places to go when you want to socialize. So I'm going to get an apartment off campus.
Cool. What kind of apartment do you have in mind?
Well, I'm hoping to find a large, modern place with an extra bedroom for visitors. It has to have parking, and of course, it has to have a washer and dryer.
Hold on. Do you have enough money for an apartment like that?
Why? Do you think it would be very expensive?
You are clearly out of touch with rental prices. You need a reality check. An apartment like that will cost an arm and a leg.
Like how much?
We're talking megabucks. Maybe $2,000 a month.
$2,000? I had no idea. I thought it would be a lot less than that.
Only if you want to live in a tiny apartment way outside of the city.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be in such a rush to move out. I could live at home with my parents just for the first year.
Okay, listen again. Then we will ask you questions.
Where are you going to live when you start college in the fall?
I don't want to live on campus. There's too much noise when you're trying to study, and there aren't enough places to go when you want to socialize. So I'm going to get an apartment off campus.
Cool. What kind of apartment do you have in mind?
Well, I'm hoping to find a large, modern place with an extra bedroom for visitors. It has to have parking, and of course, it has to have a washer and dryer.
Hold on. Do you have enough money for an apartment like that?
Why? Do you think it would be very expensive?
You are clearly out of touch with rental prices. You need a reality check. An apartment like that will cost an arm and a leg.
Like how much?
We're talking megabucks, maybe $2,000 a month.
$2,000? I had no idea. I thought it would be a lot less than that.
Only if you want to live in a tiny apartment way outside of the city.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be in such a rush to move out. I could live at home with my parents just for the first year.
Okay, now why don't Hamid want to live on campus? Why don't he, let us say, to live on campus? Sharif? Yanal.
Because there's too much noise.
Good, because there is too much noise and uh, too many students there, so it will be difficult for him to live there. Good. Now, what kind of apartment does he have in his mind? Uday?
A big modern house.
Good. Yes. A large modern place and with an extra bedroom
Extra
for
bed to
visitors.
the visitor.
Also, having what, a park, and it has what, a washer and a dryer. Good.
Right.
Now, what expression or expressions does Jason think that Hamid's idea about the apartment is a great? Jason used an expression which means that his Hamid's idea is great. Which expression? Sharif?
Hold on.
Hold on means great. What do you think?
No, wait. Mr. Rain said it was great.
Yanal?
Cool.
Good. Cool. Cool means great. So this expression used by Jason when he thinks that Hamid's idea about the apartment is great. Cool. What kind of apartment do you have in mind? Good. Now, what expression does Jason use to say $1,000? What expression Jason does Jason use to say $1,000? Sharif?
Megabucks?
Mega bucks means a lot of money, but
أنا
$1,000
من ذلك.
means look here, we are talking mega bucks. We are talking, a lot of money. Maybe $2,000 a month. $2,000 here, 2,000. Okay, so grand here means 1,000. Grand means 1,000. Thank you. Now, what expressions does Jason use to tell Hamid to stop talking about his plans for a minute? Jason told his friend Hamid, stop for a minute. Stop talking, for a minute. Which expression does he use? Sharif?
Hold on.
Good. Hold on. Hold on means stop for a minute. Stop for a moment. Okay? Hold on. Now, you realize here he's talking about his plans. Suddenly he told him to what? To stop. Do you have enough money for, your plans for, an apartment like that? Hold on, stop for a minute. Good. Now, what expressions does Jason tell Hamid that his plans are not realistic? Here we have two expressions which Jason said to Hamid about, his plans. Yanal?
You are out of touch.
Good. Out of touch? You are clearly out of touch. It means that your idea is not realistic. You don't have a realistic idea. And, you need a reality check. In other words, to estimate how realistic something is, or let us say reality check, to revise your ideas. It means that your plans aren't realistic, out of touch, and a reality check. Good. Now, what expressions does Jason tell Hamid that apartment will be very expensive? Here we have two expressions which mean that, the apartment will be expensive. Uday?
We are talking megabucks, maybe 2 grand a month.
Good. Megabucks and an arm and a leg. These two expressions mean that, the apartment will be very expensive. An arm and a leg means a lot of money. Megabucks also a large amount of money. So these two expressions means that the apartment will be very expensive. Okay, so this is about, the real talk expressions. Good. Okay, now move to the real talk expressions. Look at the first one. Cool, what does it mean? Ahmed
Good.
Azam. Ahmed Azam, are you here?
Yes.
What does it mean, cool, here, according to the conversation? Great, good, great. The second, hold on. What does it mean, hold on? Ahmed Taysir? Ashraf, are you here? Hold on.
Teacher, can I
Yes,
answer?
I'm here.
Oh.
Yes, Ashraf. Hold on means what? Read it.
Stop or wait.
Yes, stop for a moment. Yes, wait. Someone is talking and you want to, let us say, to interrupt him for a minute. Hold on, just 1 minute. Stop for a minute, okay. The next, out of touch. What does it mean, out of touch? Sharif?
Unrealistic.
Good. It means, don't have a realistic idea. Unrealistic idea. Good, out of touch. Not having a realistic idea. Good. Reality check. It means an assessment. Yes. Who wants to read the...
Can I answer, teacher?
Yes, Abdulaziz.
An assessment of how realistic something is.
Something is good. An assessment of how realistic something is. Here, out of touch and reality check, talking about, that his plans aren't realistic. They are not true, in other words. Okay. Now, an arm and a leg, megabucks. What do they mean? Huday?
Costs a lot of money.
Good. A large amount of money. An arm and a leg means a lot of money. Megabucks also a lot of money. 1,000. It means what? Grand. This is informal expression. This is informal expression. Grand means 1,000. Grand means 1,000. Okay. Now, do you ever feel that you are out of touch with something? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes you are confused with some ideas and you discover that you are out of touch. When would you tell someone that they need a reality check? When the plan, or when his plan is not realistic. You have to tell him that he needs a reality check. Okay. Now here we are going to read. We need two of you to read the conversation. Who wants to read? Abdullah Amin and Usaid. Usaid موجود? Are you here, Usaid?
Yes, I'm here. I'm always here.
Okay, read with Abdullah.
Yes.
Where are you going to live when you start college in the fall?
I don't want to live on campus. There is too much noise when you're trying to study, and there aren't enough places to go when you want to socialize. So I'm going to get an apartment off campus.
Cool. What kind of apartment do you have in mind?
Well, I'm hoping to find a large modern place with an extra bedroom for visitors. It has to have a parking, and of course, it has to have a washer and a dryer.
Hold on. Do you have enough money for an apartment like that?
Why? Do you think it would be very expensive?
You are clearly out of touch with rental prices. You need a reality check. An apartment like that will cost an arm and a leg.
Like how much?
We are talking megabucks, maybe 2 grand a month.
$2,000? I had no idea. I thought it would be a lot less than that.
Only if you want to live in a tiny apartment way outside of the city.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be in such a rush to move out. I could live at home with my parents just for the first year.
Good, thank you very much. Who wants to read again? We need Yanal. Muhammad Taysir.
Yes, teacher.
Are you here, Muhammad Taysir?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Read with Yanal, please.
Where are you going
Okay.
to live when you start college in the fall?
Don't want to live on campus. There's too much noise when you are trying to study, and there aren't enough places to go when you want to socialize. So I'm going to get an apartment off campus.
Cool. What kind of apartment do you have in mind?
Well, I'm hoping to find a large modern place with an extra bedroom for visitors. It has to have parking, and of course it has to have a washer and dryer.
Hold on. Do you have enough money for an apartment like that?
Why? Do you think it would be very expensive?
You are clearly out of touch with rental prices. You need a reality check. An apartment like that will cost an arm and a leg.
Like how much?
We are talking megabucks, maybe 2 grand a month.
$2,000? I had no idea. I thought it would be a lot less than that.
Only if you want to live in a tiny apartment with way outside of the city.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be in such a rush to move out. I could live at home with my parents just for the first year.
Good, thank you very much. Okay, now here we have questions about the conversation. Who can read the first question? Abdurrahman Raid, where are you? Ah, Abdurrahman.
teacher ممكن أحل.
Yes, read the first question.
Okay. What kind of apartment is Hamid looking for?
Good,
He wants a large modern apartment.
good. He wants, a large modern place with extra bedroom for visitors. Good, thank you very much. So this is the first question. A large modern apartment off campus with an extra bedroom, parking, and a washer and a dryer. Number two, who can read the second? Ahmed Al-Haswani, are you here? Ahmed Al-Haswani. Ah, Uday, read.
Okay. So why does Jason tell Hamid that he need a reality check? Because it
Good,
costs a lot of money.
good. Because, his ideas uh, are not realistic. Hamid will not be able to pay an apartment like that. He will not be able to afford an apartment. He doesn't have a lot of money to pay, let us say $2,000 every month. Good. The last question. Hmm? Abdurrahman Musa, are you here?
Yes,
Abdurrahman,
teacher. Yes, teacher.
read the question. Read the third question, please.
Uh, what decision
What?
does Hamid make at the end of the conversation?
Yes, what decision does Hamid make at the end of the conversation? To stay with his family, I think. Yes, to keep living at home for another year, to stay with his family for another year. So this is about, the conversation today. We have phrases used as an introduction to describe what you are looking for. I'm looking for what I have in mind, etc. Uh, these expressions. Now, which expression does Hamid use in the conversation? I think, I'm hoping to find the third or fourth par paragraph. I'm hoping to find.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for today. 1
Teacher,
minute.
can you return?
1 minute.